They don't mind that crap.
The news out for the BBC World Service. This is 90.1 KERA News. Hi there, good afternoon, or good morning rather. Hope you're enjoying your Friday so far. Hi there, I'm Andrew Garcia. The cleanup is well underway in Florida, 2 days after Hurricane Milton battered the state with high winds, storm surge, and torrential rains. At least a dozen deaths have been attributed to the storm, and millions of homes and businesses hope power will be restored soon. How are the cleanup efforts progressing?
I guess I should check that before.
90.1 or on the KERA app. Hurricane Milton has caused damage and destruction throughout the state of Florida. The latest on the road to recovery on All Things Considered from NPR News. Starting at 3 on KERA News. James Menendez with News. Now, the BBC has discovered that the British government is investigating 37 businesses with links to the UK for potentially breaking Russian oil sanctions, but no fines have been handed out so far. After Russia invaded Ukraine in early 2022, the UK and other Western countries stopped buying Russian oil. The UK and the EU also made it illegal to facilitate the transportation of Russian oil sold for more than $60 a barrel. The idea was to make it harder for Russia to finance its war without creating a global oil shock. Well, the discovery was made under what's known as a Freedom of Information request from our political reporter Jack Fennick. So what are
Everybody trying to make money off us. Fuck out of
The
here.
identities of the businesses involved in these 37 investigations, but we can get an idea of what it is they do
Right.
based on what the Russian oil cap actually is. So from that we can work out that these companies are likely to be ship insurers and others involved in that process.
It's more than 2.5 years since the war started. Why has progress in these investigations been so slow?
The Treasury have pointed to the complex nature of a lot of these investigations as a reason why it may be taking a while to find people. But what we do know is that further to these 37 investigations, another 15 have actually concluded, and they also didn't result in a fine.
Yeah, that's how they get money out of people. I'm like, man, I'm not doing that.
Last month,
I'm good.
Russia-related sanctions.
I'm not doing that. That's crazy.
We just don't
I need
see
some fucking water.
any payments. Now,
Drink.
people say that's because of pressure from other parts of the international community. For example, the US were quite worried when some sanctions were brought in that they didn't want them to go too hard and potentially raise the price of oil. So you've got lots of complicated issues floating around this.
Are there also loopholes that companies are able to exploit to get round this set of sanctions?
So there is one main loophole which we know is being used and is resulting in oil that started life in Russia and then its way to the UK. And that's because legally, if crude oil is refined in a third country, the country of origin becomes that third country. So you can look at the graphs and see that as imports of Russian oil have dropped off a cliff since the invasion of Ukraine, UK imports of Indian oil, for example, have gone up quite a lot. And what's happening is that Russian crude is being refined in India. That then is technically Indian oil, not Russian oil, and then it can be imported.
How do these sanctions fit into the wider tranche of sanctions in place against Russia?
So there have been sanctions in place against Russia for a number of years, going back to the invasion of Crimea in 2014, but a lot of them were introduced after the wider invasion of Ukraine in 2022. Now,
Crazy.
is sanctioning individuals. That's when we hear stories about certain
Robbie.
Russian oligarchs that can no longer do business in
Yeah, I'm
the
gonna rob
UK,
you looking like this guy.
assets frozen. But there are also these financial sanctions on bits of the Russian economy. I think it's fair to say that the oil cap is probably the most significant of those and is really the one that was aimed to try to make it very difficult for Russia
I started
to make
10.
as much money off the oil
Yeah, I started
industry as
10
they
o'clock.
had, but
Robert was
therefore make it
10.
more difficult to
I want to just do it another quick. I need to understand that a little better first.
the UK government set
Show me the right sheet. So probably Monday of this
are
weekend.
breaking trade sanctions. As I understand it, they're going to be particularly looking at the financial services sector when it comes to that.
Now, campaigners who support the oil sanctions say they're not being enforced properly, and that's why they're not effective. What's the Treasury, what's the government saying?
The UK Treasury said that it would be taking enforcement action where appropriate, the words that they use. news, and they said that they were putting
Still in
sanction
Home
breaches
Depot.
on notice. They also pointed to the complex nature of a lot of these cases and said that's why it can take such a long time. Well, the campaigners are saying that, and one of the things they're pointing to is the fact that the Russian economy is growing. So civil assault, keeping in mind that teachers and districts have significant civil immunity protections in Texas. Should that extend to sleeping stickers? Should that extend to drugging my child? You should have civil protections if you're drugging my kid. Again, if I can't do anything about it, or if I can't do anything civilly or criminally about that, sleepy bat. That's what we're bringing to school. But they have apparently protections. She said, I did look up, and this is the legal expert, Carmen Rowe. She said, I did look up clova patches used, and they don't appear to be marketed to children, which raises the question about what effect it has on children versus its claims for use with adults. But apparently it is not criminal. Because of the liability protections, you can civilly sue them. But apparently these people are under no risk of going to jail. Something about this. And this shows you how messed up our schools are. I said this before on the air, I'll say it until it's not a fact. Schools hate kids. Schools in general, individual teachers can like kids, but schools hate kids. And the only thing schools hate more than kids are their parents. So they bring the parents in and say, don't say anything about this. Don't talk about this. It'll hamper our investigation. We know your investigation. You were putting drugs on my kid.
Talked about, but I think a lot of times, the cameras kind of get that, and we've seen that with Dez. We've seen back in the day, the cameras get a certain thing, but based off of what they're actually saying, it's not as bad. This is just going to be one of those where I think CD is, always going to be chirping, always going to be wanting the ball, always going to be wanting more and more. I think Michael Irvin was the same way, Dez was the same way. I don't know if you can put on the 88 and not be that way, but go get the ball in his hand, and most of the time good things will happen. And so I think they get that. I don't think Dak seems too worried about it, honestly.
Talking with Nick Eatman here from DallasCowboys.com. Nick, the injury report is a mile long with DNPs from the week. Which ones are those ones that we're realistically concerned with versus which ones are the ones where you're like, just missed a practice, but ultimately probably going to be out there?
I would say Diggs is in that group, about probably going to be out there, depending on the illness he's had. He was sick yesterday. Had a little bit of an ankle here, but I think Diggs should be fine. The Kendricks one, that's a little bit worrisome, I think, just because you're talking about a shoulder and a calf. Those two injuries, especially the calf, that's not one that, it depends what type of injury it is with the calf, but he's been out for 2 days, and then his backup there, Nick Vigil, is also on the injury report, missing practice. So from a middle linebacker standpoint, I'll be curious to hear what McCarthy says today. Just on what the middle linebacker situation looks like. That would probably be the most worrisome one for me. The ones that we didn't really expect. Obviously, Micah is probably not going to play.
Nick, we talk about you just mentioned, Zeke's probably not thrilled with his role. There is one thing we've noticed around here during the McCarthy era. I think it's that squeaky wheel gets the oil. So do you think that that'll end up with, hey, maybe a little bit more of a prominent role this week for Zeke?
Well, I think you also look at, Rico Dowdle deserves more carries, deserves to get, kind of the running back, the RB1 status. But, I don't think McCarthy was too thrilled with the fumble that went back to the 5-yard line, especially, when it was a play where, I don't think Rico ran the right direction. So goal line runs, goal line plays, that might be a situation we do see that a little bit more with Zeke. And y'all might have to help me on this one, but has he been stopped? Has there been a 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 through this year?
No.
That I can remember where he's just he doesn't have it, he got stopped. Now, he's not getting 8. He's not breaking off the run like the 49ers guy did, last night when everyone knew they were running, and he goes for 70 and then slides down to the 1. But but he's not doing that, but he's getting the first down. So I think that might be a situation where a little bit more of the goal line thing for Zeke, if they can split it up that way. He's still somewhat effective in those runs. So I would think that might be the split. Give him a little bit more of the short yardage thing. But still, Rico's done a nice job. He's given them some juice, giving them a little bit longer runs. So I think that probably has to be what it is, but maybe more on short yardage.
To your point, third and fourth down when it's 2 yards or shorter, the Cowboys are 12 for 13 this year. And the only one they missed was that intentional grounding in the last game from Dak. Bigger confidence builder, or who was the confidence building game against Pittsburgh bigger for heading into this week, Jalen Tolbert or Rico Dowdle?
Oh, man.
Except Mr. Hirsch.
Probably, now they'll both tell you, like, you
Yeah,
ask them that,
momentum is
they're like,
not
confidence is always high, blah, blah, blah. That's what they say. But I think Tolbert, he's the one where, he had a really great game. And to catch that touchdown like he did with the guy, all over him, and they had, showing the strong hands and just being the playmaker there. I think it was huge for him. But I mean, I could sit here and on the flip side and argue the same thing for Rico. It's a great question, Bobby, because it's almost a tie. Because they need those two. They need both of them to kind of to have the roles that they had. I mean, Rico out of the backfield, he had a couple of really nice runs. Maybe only went for 6 or 7 yards, but the way he kind of did that whole bounced it out there, was patient and head first at the same time. That's, I think, what the running back needs. So I love watching his game. I glanced at the week. I mean, are we actually seeing a screen team for this team? I mean, is this team actually running screens? Because Rico had a touchdown last week against the Giants. Pretty much was a screen to Lipsky, and who just keeps doing more and more. So I don't know. I think both of those guys, Tolbert and Dowder, I would say I'm tied there for your question.
It's amazing the Tolbert angle, because in Vegas or in gambling, he is like the guy right now. He has hit the over on his yardage total like four or five straight weeks. It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Nick Eamon on the DNM Leasing Hotline. What is your pick, sir, and why?
Oh man, I think this is a bad matchup for the Cowboys. I'm going to pick the Lions. And earlier in the week I was kind of like, it's going to be a tough game. I mean, it's going to be maybe a little bit more one-sided. I think the Cowboys will. It'll be close. I think a high-scoring game, honestly. Just because I don't think Detroit's defense is that great either. But I'm going to say 31-27 Lions.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we did a fact or fiction like with Dak and Goff in this one, because these are two of the more picked apart quarterbacks in the league,
right.
but two of the better ones too. So I'm gonna say these sentences, these statements, and then you just say fact or fiction.
Okay.
All right. They are better than the guy they replaced. That one was for Bobby, really. But
I would say
Fiction.
they are better than the guy they replaced. I would say fiction.
Yes.
for both of them, or
Stafford. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna say Stafford is better than Goff, and I'll still. Oh man. Yeah, I mean, they're pretty much the same guy at this point in their career with their stats. They're not the same guy when it comes to locker room leadership, all of that. But I
He still chose Romo. He's just delaying it. He's saying Tony, Bobby.
I'll say Tony. I'll say Tony at this point. Oh, sorry, Doug.
Which his teammates felt the same.
Agreed, Nick.
all right, next one. You can't win a title with them.
That's false. That's fiction. I don't believe that you can't. I mean, no, I think you can. And I mean, yes, it hasn't happened, but I mean, I'm sure people said that about Stafford. They won.
Yeah.
They didn't say that about Nick Foles. You can. You can. I'm not gonna say you can't.
Okay. They are underrated.
Fact. I think they are underrated. It's always a tricky one. Just what is the rating, who is doing the rating.
Right.
But overall, the big consensus of things, yes, I think they are underrated.
Interesting. That was it you that said they're both underrated and overrated? They're overrated by the people that like them and underrated by the people that hate them.
That was me. It was the good point.
Yeah, it's a good point.
I like that.
And then finally, they are the primary reason for their team's success.
Fact.
Nick Eatman, pretty much in lockstep with us during the expressway. Well done,
Yeah.
sir. Enjoy the game Sunday.
All right, guys. See you.
Good stuff, Nick. Nick Eatman, brought to you by the Winstock World Casino and Resort. Proud to be the official casino of the Dallas Cowboys. Please game responsibly. Find out how you can win tickets to this game and some fan swag as we crosstalk with KNC next. After we get you over to K-Post Roofing and Waterproofing, the official roofing and waterproofing partner of the Dallas Cowboys. That is a big, beautiful K-Post roof on AT&T Stadium and on the home of the world champs. And on the American Airlines Center. And it's on my house, too. Yeah, I got a new roof. I got a K-Post roof back in May. I had the hailstorm roll through Roanoke in March. K-Post came over, did the inspection on the roof, did both a on-the-roof inspection and a drone flyover with some thermal imaging, and it was awesome. And they held my hand through the entire process. And that's the great thing about K-Post Roofing and Waterproofing. They're local. They're embedded in the local community. They're from here. They're not a fly-by-night roofing operation. Swoops in, fixes a couple of roofs, and then bolts to Shreveport. You never hear from them again. Nope. They work with the insurance company, and they're helping you out the entire way, making sure everything that needs to get covered gets covered. KPostCompany.com. The letter K, postcompany.com. The Lamar J. Choppy for the Fan Central.
Coming up in the next G-Bag Nation, it's a Friday show, a Double Bet Payoff Football Friday with Stephen Jones at 3 o'clock. The Nation 2 to 7. The Fan.
We're out here to help you beat the books with BetQL. We got a barn burner in Carolina. Atlanta's coming off a big offensive performance, and they look to do it again in Carolina. The Panthers this year have been an over machine. They're 4-1 to the over in 2024. Atlanta, Carolina, over 47 is a BetQL 5-star best bet. I'm Ryan Horvath. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetQL and BetMGM apps today. All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month. With a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rate.
Get organic favorites at Whole Foods Market. Save on organic black, red, and green seedless grapes through October 15th. Add them to your fall charcuterie boards for a touch of sweet freshness. While supplies last, shop in-store or online. Terms apply.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. You'll get a maximum tax deduction and a vacation
1877
voucher.
Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Remember, cars with a K. Are you tired of falling short on your health and fitness goals? It may be your hormones. Optimizing hormones can have a dramatic impact, both physically and mentally. Biote is the world's leader in training healthcare providers on bioidentical hormone optimization. Biote's providers treat low T, low energy, muscle loss, low sex drive, and performance. Get your edge back in 2024 by visiting myhormonelevels.com to see if you qualify for a reduced cost program offered by a Biote certified provider. That's myhormonelevels.com.
Mike Bassett here with a touchdown deal. Need new windows? Dax Kurtz, co-owner of Best Buy Windows and Siding, has the perfect play.
Thanks, Mike. Hello's get 10 single-hung windows for just $59.50. You won't find a better deal.
Beat the summer heat and start saving today with Best Buy Windows and Siding.
And don't forget, a lifetime warranty is included on all our windows for peace of mind.
Call 469-WINDOWS or visit BestBuyWindowsAndSiding.com today.
Best Buy Windows and Siding.
Hey football fans, it's Chris Arnold, here to announce the Dallas Cowboys High School Football Coach of the Week, brought to you by Whataburger. Congratulations to Todd Dodge from Lovejoy High School. Got you there.
texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply. Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T.
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh yeah, the key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text SAVVY to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermal, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text SAVVY to 42424. That's SAVVY to 42424.
I'm Brian Tedesco, CEO of Blaupunkt Americas, the pioneers of the car stereo. Today we're not just about sound systems. We are revolutionizing the e-bike scene with Blue Dot Bike. Thanks to AmericanEagle.com, our online presence now features a dynamic e-commerce website that showcases the quality and affordability of our foldable e-bikes. And our collegiate e-bikes, just perfect for the college fanatic. These e-bikes offer a new way to experience freedom on two wheels, no matter your age. When we needed a top-notch website to match our cutting-edge e-bikes, we turned to AmericanEagle.com. They made the impossible seem easy, tackling digital challenges like pros. Check out the Blue Dot Bike website to see AmericanEagle.com's amazing work in action. Need the best in website and digital marketing solutions? AmericanEagle.com is your go-to. They've been a game changer for us, and they can be for you too. Visit AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW1. That's 877-WEB-NOW1.
Everybody, salute Flag Topper is here. And this year's Whataburger themed flag is the talk of the town. Go to 1053thefan.com/events to find out where you can get your 2024 flag. Proudly presented by Southern.
I get one or two.
1053 The Fan.
RG on 1053 The Fan segment here brought to you by Classic Chevrolet. Classic Chevrolet in Grapevine is the #1 Chevy dealer in the world. More Silverados than anyone else. This is Classic Chevrolet. Together, let's drive, relax, enjoy the difference based on new Chevrolet registrations 2023.
No, you didn't turn the mics.
Jeez. Yeah, this is the part where you guys talk.
Your mic's not working.
Your Sean.
Your mic is
Yeah.
Hey!
Move station. Get my radio station.
Is that from the tease that we recorded?
Excuse me.
Yeah, it might be. I think that's from It's past 6:40 on a
I don't
Thursday.
know what you did there, but for the entire time you've been working here, you've never been able to talk to me in my ear on the talkback. And whatever you did
there?
I can hear it now because I heard it during my commercial.
That's incredible.
So whatever you did, whatever you screwed up there,
Yeah.
don't fix it.
It's supposed to be
So don't
having
fix it.
issues with the show on the road,
Yeah.
not the show in studio, but the KNC Masterpiece is on the road. Where, fellas? And what do you have for the Tolos today?
We are at Buffalo Wild Wings in Louisville, right off of I-35. It's 2316, I do believe, is the address for where we are today. And we're going to, that's 2613, my apologies, Interstate Highway 35. And we do have G-Bag flags to give away. We got the Whataburger G-Bag flags. Got a couple listeners already here who've already gotten theirs. We got, I think we have about, I guess we'll only have about 48 left. So you might as well get here early and be here for it, because also we were giving away shirts, hats, and so much more Cowboys gear. Little mini helmets are awesome. The icy white mini helmets are dope. And then Cowboys tickets courtesy of Miller Lite for this weekend's game. So be ready for that one. It's going to be a blast.
You guys have Jerry at 10:30?
And Jerry Jones at 10:30. Mark Henry, WWE Hall of Famer and Longhorn super fan, coming up at 10:30.
Oh, dude, I love him.
He's great, man. He's awesome.
My favorite.
You guys set off a back and forth with the media here trying to figure out the Cowboys soft rebuild this week. Have you been keeping track of that, Corey? The back and forth and what happened, just to reset it?
Okay, so Wednesday night, Bobby typically hosts the Cowboys Hour.
Corley.
And
That can't be anybody else, though. That's Van Newton.
And I was with Nate, and he had brought that word up, and or that phrase, and I was like, oh, that's an interesting thing. And I started kind of looking at how the Cowboys have made signings, and then I'm like, okay, so maybe a couple years from now they're going to make a big push at something. Maybe that's the reality. And so I just wanted, if Nate, he was talking about it, I was like, well, let's just ask Jerry. And then Jerry said, you hit the nail on the head, and then has now said, well, hold on, it's not a soft rebuild, because as Steven said on Monday, we're just recalibrating, not reloading.
I don't know about a soft rebuild.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. They don't want to admit that, but the reality is that's where they are right now. They're relying on youth to help their veterans and hoping that youth turns into veterans for them.
I've always said renovation instead of rebuild. They're renovating a part of the
Look at
house.
that. Can you guys give them an all-in pass then, Kevin? By saying all-in meant this is it. This is do or die on this hand. Versus we're buying, we're purchasing, we're adding, we're acquiring, all in with this group.
I just think it's weird that, like, within a couple of days, the people that run the franchise are contradicting one another about what they're actually doing. And it makes me wonder, does everyone have their own goal of what they're actually doing and are not communicating it to one another?
Left hand don't talk to the right.
Yeah.
In addition to the Stars winning their season opener last night, Klay Thompson in his Mavs debut said this was as nervous as he did game one of the 2015 NBA Finals. 10 points for Klay, 3 of 9 from the field. All 3 were threes, along with 3 assists. So that was Klay Thompson last night. But I have a topic for you fellas. And does this belong in man card court? Is this a violation? As Bobby Belt is kind enough to bring in breakfast for us many a days. And we found out that Peyton Russell has not been consuming and eating the full breakfast sandwich. 2 bites, sometimes half a sandwich, and he only ate half of it yesterday. And today he didn't eat the whole thing, so Bobby went in, took the sandwich, and threw it in the trash.
Oh my!
Since Peyton is basically, just wasting Bobby's money.
Yep.
Well, Peyton said, I'm not just throwing away my leftovers. I'm handing the sandwich over to Alec Medford.
Oh.
And I said, that's a big no-no. Choppy says it's fine and cool. So we have Alec in studio. How many times has this happened, Alec? And if you were hungry, are you cool with just eating the leftover sandwich that has bites out of it? I'm not talking about a split. I'm not talking about a knife down the middle. What's been happening?
So this has never happened, for one. And 2, I don't know what he's been up to in his free time, so I'd probably stay away from it. Like you said, if there's no splitting, if there's no shaving off some of the pre-eaten parts, then I'm probably not going to follow after the footsteps of Peyton Russell.
But you're going to take his leftover half sandwich that has 2 bites already out of it, or 1 bite, and eat that, Like,
it just feels too weird.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to be Eskimo Bros on a sandwich. What you do is
Eskimo Bros
cut
on a
off the
sandwich.
front end of it, and then maybe it's okay to do it then. If you cut off the front where like his mouth is touched, but even still, you're dealing with his hands like holding it and his nasty fingers. We've seen his security badge, how it's literally sticky and will like stick to your hand. It's gross.
Your security badge is sticky? He loves coming to work.
Yeah, a lot of flooding up here, Chop. Okay,
not
a lot of
too.
hours.
I think he's trying to insult your salary, Alec, by being like, here's my 3rd eaten sandwich. I know you'll probably need this in order to eat. Peasant.
I will say I'm a much more appreciative man when it comes to the freebies around here. I think I am, but I gotta draw the line somewhere, don't I?
So did you take the sandwich and throw it in the trash, or you just told him no thanks?
He didn't even offer it to me.
Hey,
are you lying?
I won't come I think Alec has just put me on blast.
You're a fraud. And you know what's crazy is I get here early on Fridays to cut stuff for Masterpiece of the Week, 1:30 every Friday. And I've been here since about 8:10. So usually I'm here like 8:30, 8:40. He had what 20 extra minutes to say, hey.
Well, the sandwich was gone by then. Bobby throws it away.
He did throw it in the trash,
Well,
Alex.
I don't throw it away every week. I threw it away today because in fact, Peyton, here's what Peyton did. Yesterday when I was like, you didn't eat it. What's the deal? And he goes, well, I would eat that sausage thing you get from Jack in the Box. I eat that whole thing if you would have gotten that. So I got those this morning and he still didn't eat it. And then when I said something about it, he goes, Evan, throw it in the trash. Go in there. Go ahead. Do it. It's very
So
defiant.
did you never offer Alec the sandwich?
I don't always just go up and say, here you go. I say, whoever wants it, wants it. Now it's like that.
That's not even really a say. I stood up for you and you. I didn't even want to say it.
But to act like it's something that is like attractive, you know what I mean? Like whoever will first come first serve on my half-eaten sandwich. My teeth marks in it.
It's like LeBron throwing a sweatband in the crowd.
Yeah, like, I can't wait to have this. I gotta get LeBron sweat on me.
All right.
Ego.
Will Corey or Kevin defend Peyton and side with RJ that this is fine and this is not a man card violation?
I think it's fine because I am also very economical. And so if you're not making a whole lot of money and you got to figure out a way to get it done, then that's
Hang on, Kevin. So you're telling me that Corey takes a bite of his sandwich, doesn't want the rest, and offers it to you, you would eat it?
It depends on a couple of circumstances, but I'm not against it.
What are the circumstances?
Just like if I was hungry, if he's eating
Yeah,
something
you're
else.
hungry and it's a sandwich you like.
Oh, yeah, then I would eat it.
Wow. Okay. Corey?
Yeah, I mean, I will also say, even with my kids, I'm cutting off where they bit. You know,
Oh, even with your children.
even with my
Your
children. I don't-
DNA.
Dude, you don't know, like.